Hey, Ron, good to see you.
Kevin, good to see you.
Thanks for coming to the barn for us.
Thanks for having me.
We are so often seeing you on the job site for decades, helping us mitigate our job sites, but it's good to have you here, and we're talking asbestos. What is this stuff?
It's a natural mineral. You see it everywhere, and they discovered it thousands of years ago. It's been used in everything from wrapping mummies to wrapping boilers.
So mineral mean in the ground, and they literally go and they mine this stuff.
Right, yeah, nice fibrous material. It's impervious to water. It doesn't rot, it doesn't decay, it doesn't burn. It's got great insulation properties for electricity and for heat. It's the ultimate tool in the toolbox.
Which is why we used it all the time in lots and lots of stuff.
Right.
Now we know it's bad for us, so tell us what the risk is.
Basically, if it's sitting there, it's in good shape, and you're not bothering it, it's not really a risk at all. It's when it becomes friable and it starts to break up and become airborne. Those little fibers that were so useful holding this material together now can get into your lungs. A little bit of exposure is not going to kill you, but over time, if you have that going on, or if it's a big project, a big exposure, it's definitely dangerous.
And the fact that it gets in your lungs and it'll never break down.
Yeah, the things that make the asbestos so wonderful is also what makes it dangerous. So what you have is you have it in your lungs. Your lungs can't break it down, especially if you're a smoker. It's even worse because your lungs don't function as well. And then it could eventually lead to asbestosis, cancer.
Gotcha.
Like
okay. So you've shown us before, it starts off literally like something like this. So from the ground it is mined, and you just end up with pretty innocuous looking.
Right, that's mine tailings from Quebec, pretty much in a raw state.
But then they take this and they either put it into materials or they press it and they make it into materials.
Right.
So let's talk about some of the materials. And again, I mean, we have to reiterate, if you have these things in your house, it's not necessarily dangerous.
Right.
It's only when they're disturbed that it could become dangerous.
Exactly.
Okay, so what is this here?
That's just sheet flooring. That's probably from the 50s, 60s, judging from the lovely pattern. And the asbestos is primarily on the back of it right there, and also with the glues and the mastics that they use for the sheet flooring, vinyl flooring. Oftentimes they put the asbestos right in the glue.
Gotcha. And then tile, right?
Yeah, that's your classic 9-by-9-inch tile. It's all over schools and churches even to this day. Once again, if it's in good shape, it's not a problem, but when it has to come up, it's got to be dealt with properly.
And the asbestos can either be in the tile,
right,
or in the
black mastic, or the mastic in general.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, and the little beads here, the little granulars?
The first blown-in insulation is called vermiculite. Most of it was mined out in Libby, Montana. The mine happened to have lots of vermiculite and lots of asbestos, so they came together. You got a package deal whether you wanted it or not.
So vermiculite's not necessarily a problem, but often if you have vermiculite, it comes with asbestos.
Yeah.
And then this guy?
Transite panels, it's like a cementitious asbestos board. They use it almost like sheetrock back in the day. We'd see it in wall dividers in schools, mechanical rooms. Again, it's super durable, it's super strong. And also they have the same material used and outside if you have asbestos siding on your house. It's flat, hard, it actually breaks like a dinner plate. That's your transite siding on the outside of your house.
So if I have siding in my house or tiles on my floor and I want to know if they're asbestos or not, do I look at it and guess, or?
You want to have what's called a pre-renovation survey performed by a licensed inspector. They'll come and actually cut out samples, send those to the lab.
Yeah.
Not samples of your 2x4s and things like that. These are suspected surfaces of materials that could be asbestos.
And only the technician in the lab can actually determine whether it is or isn't dangerous.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay. So we get the bad news that it is dangerous. How do we mitigate? What do you guys do?
We would come in basically to take out whatever you needed us to take out, because you don't have to take it all out. If you're doing a project, you're doing your kitchen and you have some asbestos in your basement, that's okay. We're here to do the kitchen. So we would isolate the kitchen. We set it up all with plastic wrap. We seal off the windows, the heating vents, make sure that there's no air changing from our work area to the rest of the house.
Gotcha.
HEPA filtered negative air, which is that tiny microscopic filtration, and that's blowing all the dirty air through the filter and then blowing clean air outside. And what that does is it keeps our work area under what's called negative pressure. And that way, if there is a breach in our containment, we miss a spot here, the contaminants are not going into the rest of the house.
Things are flowing in and then out through the filter.
It's all about containment, that's what we do. And then plus our guys are all protected too with suits, respirators, so that they're safe.
Contain the space, protect the workers. When they do their work, they get all this stuff up, how do you dispose of it?
It is hazardous waste, so it does have to go, and it's double bagged into special bags that are marked according to our regulations, and basically they get taken off in dumpsters to hazardous waste sites that are specifically for asbestos disposal. So
again, not something the homeowner's doing themselves. You guys test for it, you guys mitigate it.
Right.
Perfect. All right. Well, we've appreciated all the help you've given us over the decades and obviously all the good information today. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Kevin.
Thanks for watching. This Old House has got a video for just about every home improvement project, so be sure to check out the others. And if you like what you see, click on the subscribe button to make sure that you get our newest videos right in your feed.